was just getting really hard to juggle my full-time job and building kind of Tribal and the app and having a family as well. So I think something had to give at some point.
Yeah.
We had bootstrapped the build of the app ourselves. So I was kind of thinking, I'm
Wow.
so passionate about it. We've invested money into it. Do I take a leap of faith and resign? And I'd had mixed advice for a little while. Someone like, don't resign until you're kind of making money or getting traction with your new kind of venture. But then at the same time, I couldn't make any progress with the app and with Tribal whilst I was juggling a full-time job. So my husband and I sat down and made the decision that I would resign. So it was daunting, but I was also kind of ready for it. I'd been at my previous job for 10 years by that point. So it was definitely the end of an era, but something that I'm so passionate about Tribal that I was kind of ready to go all in. So that was a few months ago now. And it's funny, it's like the week after that happened, new opportunities kind of opened up.
Wow.
So much has changed. I actually was at South by Southwest in the startup village
Oh,
there, which was a
cool.
really exciting opportunity. And from that, I met someone who it's like a husband-wife team that build apps, websites, have a team of developers in India. And I've actually kind of handed over the tech side of the app to them. So I kind of took it away from the Melbourne company, handed over to them, have a kind of a tech team on board, and they are just taking the app to another level. The kind of AI features, the psychology behind it, the recommendations, it's all just so different from the initial kind of the initial app that was built. So a minute delay in launch, but it was for all the right reasons.
Yeah.
So that has been a really exciting development, but I've learned so much along the way. Like I don't have a tech background whatsoever. I'm a clinical psychologist. My whole career had been kind of one-on-one therapy work and kind of working in a mental health service. So it's been exciting, but I've learned a lot.
No, it's always really interesting. There's so many sometimes horror stories with technology, especially with non-tech founders when you do have to trust, I guess, your tech team.
Yeah.
But it sounds so exciting. And now that you've got these guys on board,
Yeah.
it sounds like, if they're talking AI and all those kind of things,
Yes.
that they're probably the right partner to, take it to the next level and think of those
100%.
creative
Yeah,
ideas. Yeah.
yeah. When I showed my husband the first kind of screenshots and draft of some stuff they had done, he kind of summed it up perfectly. He was like, the previous guys were good, but like these guys have really managed to take your idea and execute it in such an amazing way. And I think that's just kind of sums it up. We're a good team. So I'm really happy with what's been produced and built so far. And fingers crossed, we're looking at a February launch.
Oh my God, that is so exciting. You'll have to keep us up to date so we can share it with everybody.
Definitely.
That would be so cool. No, that's just so exciting. And I love how you said, the minute you resigned, opportunities came up.
Yeah, yeah.
Put yourself in a situation at South by Southwest where you could meet other people. I
Hmm.
think that that's really important in business is to put yourself out there. I think it's super scary, but you kind of have to do it.
100%. Yeah, you got to have a yes attitude. In the past few months, I've had so many meetings and coffees and catch ups with people from just such different backgrounds, all kind of in the startup tech finance world, but just different expertise, different backgrounds. And every single conversation, I've learned something from and taking something from it. And I just couldn't do that when I was in an office 9 to 5.
Yeah, that is the hard thing when you're like doing it as a side hustle is just the time. You're so
Yeah.
right. It's like, if you've got a 9 to 5 and you're traveling 8 to 6, it's like it doesn't leave a lot of room for actually having a coffee with anybody, does it?
No, no.